Great. Hey.
お願いします。
お願いします。はい。Done. Hey. Side to side. Hey, use the shoulders. Circles one way. Circles the other way. Right. Forward. And back. And stretching one side. This side. Pausing. And then the other side. Open and close. Hey. Nice. Wacky. Hey, the other side. And sides. Hey. Up. All the way down. Yep. Now. Yep. And sideways direction. And the other direction. Direction. And other direction. One direction. And the other direction. Really. Side. So. Here. Go. Here. Go. Thank you. Go. And forward. Down. Hey, your knees. Circles one way. Circles the other way. Very soft. Down. Up. Down. Open your toes. Down. Up. Down. Breathing in. Breathing out. Here. Go. Thank you. Go. Feet. And your hips. Go. Match. Good. You raising of your legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Changing of your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you open your legs, lowering your hips. So, opening to one side. And opening the other side. Grabbing your legs. So it's an interesting thing, just practice a little bit what is grabbing your legs from the outside, which is what we usually do. And then what happens if you try to grab them from the inside? Okay, it's just maybe because your knees are getting open artificially, it feels, to me at least, more difficult. That's why I shoot by default to the outside, but it's not a bad idea to try to grab from the inside, okay? So the inside, and then from that inside, raising your head and raising your hips. And lower your hips again. And raising your hips. And lowering your hips again. Raising your hips one more time. Lowering your hips one more. Raising your hips one more. And your spine. And your hips. Side and the other side. So, and open your legs side to side. So. And lowering on one side. Lowering the other side. Goes up one side. Goes up the other side. Hands in front, one side. Hands in front, the other side. Side to side. Open legs. And down. Going forward. And back stretch. Forward again. Back stretch. Forward again. Back. Forward. Hips up. Hips down. Hips up. Hips down. Hips up. Hips down. Hip up. hips down, and back. Hey, carado. Inside. Inside. Both sides. Up. Hey. Inside. Outside. On top. Inside. So. Hey, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Stand. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hey. Outside. All right, a little bit of ground locomotion, just with three basic exercises. One will be our bear position. Okay, so in your bear position, try to keep not your hips too high, as in not like hips down. Try to keep your hips down. Your core is engaged, and then just move from that position on your basic quadruple form. If you have enough space to do a like a chicken run, like a line, then that would be good. If you don't have much space, just basically go forward and then just basically go backwards. Going forward and going backwards. Okay. So let's just do that. Let's stay, keep the hips down. Try to keep your hips, as much as possible down. It's very tempting to kind of hike the hips. So keep your hips down so that kind of forces your legs down, engage your core muscle and keep them like that, and trying to keep, as much neutral spine as possible. Okay. And let's just do either forward or backwards, or a chicken run for 20 seconds. Okay, let's just do for 20 seconds. Doesn't have to be fast, just kind of control, moving forward or backwards for 20 seconds. Okay, ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Yeah, rest. All right. Okay. So that's just one, possibly one of the most basic ones, bear walks. Okay, but again, very important to try to keep it with the spine in a neutral position. Next one, it's kind of crouching tiger. So it's very similar to bear walk, but instead of using your hands, maybe you like this because you don't have to use your wrist. It will be your forearms, just over your forearms, like if you were like literally crouching. Okay, the crouching tiger, same thing. And because you're so much lower on the upper body, your lower back or your bum will spike up a little bit, which is normal because you are on your forearms, so you have a shorter length. But try to not spike a lot. Okay, so it doesn't have to spike a lot. Still force that hip down as low as possible, and then you are on your toes, not on your knees. Okay, So you have to be on your toes. All right, ready? 20 seconds with crouching tiger. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. And rest. Okay, all right. Third one, this quadruped locomotions. It's a difficult one, which is the alligator walk. Okay, so the alligator walk, opposite hand, opposite leg, step forward, opposite hand, opposite leg, step forward. So opposite hand, opposite leg, make a big step. Ideally, you stay almost as low as possible perpetually, or at least do like a little alligator push up on the way in. So here, push up, here, push up, here, push up, here, push. So alligator walks. Okay. So 20 seconds and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. And rest. All right. Okay, so we got those three. Okay, bears, crawling tiger, and alligator walks. Let's just do them again for 20 seconds. Okay, so try to remember the important thing is try to keep your spine in as much as neutral position as possible and as horizontal as possible for your condition and the structure of the exercise. All right. So bear position and going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. So crouching tiger. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Oh, anyone? Alligator walks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. And all right, good. So basic. You can never really go wrong with animal patterns as long as you know good discipline, more or less, on what we are trying to execute with them. All right, so this month we are focusing on Metsuke, which is a very common martial art idea or term, which roughly means something. So it has a very specific meaning in terms of where do you focus or how do you focus on your opponent in order to sen no sen. So that's why Metsuke and sen no sen are very related in a way. So sometimes sen no sen is wrongly perceived or understood as anticipation, but anticipation that comes out of guessing. I'm going to basically flip a coin, and I kind of anticipated or assume more than anything. So it's not so much an anticipation, it's an assumption. And that's possibly kind of the negative side of practicing Zen no Zen. Is an assumption or is a rush, or things like that, which is an unavoidable way of practicing Zen no Zen. At the beginning, we think that quick go no Zen is Zen no Zen, and as Moreno Sensei says, that's not the case. Or we kind of flip a coin and we make an assumption, and then we think that is the same as anticipating, which is not the case. So real Zen no Zen, in a way, becomes from a deep capacity to observe, to read, to perceive, what's happening truly in front of us, and because of that, make a next move, or make the correct move. It's almost like when people talk about, for example, the concept of prophets, like a prophet, for people who is from those traditions who have prophets, sometimes people think that, prophesy something is the same thing as kind of guessing the future, or somehow like seeing the future. But really, what a prophet does is that they read the present so well that they say, well, if we keep going the way currently situation is, the only likely outcome is going to be this. So in a way, they're kind of reading the future, but they are not reading the future out of some mystical kind of condition. They are reading the future out of a perfect reading of the present, and there's, well, if we keep going the way we're going, the only likely outcome of this is going to be this situation. So in that sense, there is that capacity to see the future, but not by some form of magical thinking, but by a perfect presence of the present and the capacity to read the present. So that's kind of the idea of Metsuke, the capacity to be present so fully that then we can Zen no Zen, anticipate what it is going to occur. Okay. Anyway, so that's kind of a little bit of the context of where Zen no Zen happens. Now that sounds very exciting, but like everything very exciting, it starts by basic, very boring things, which funnily enough is part of our exercise, thankfully. So we don't have to be perfect readers of the present, from day one. But what we do need to have from very early process of the very early stages of the process is the capacity to see what's going on in the demonstration that our teacher is performing in some very basic form. So possibly the most basic form are number one, and I'm going to do very quickly, and we don't really have much capacity to do this, in case, but you change a bit, so we can. The capacity, is my partner moving behind, or is my partner moving in front? Literally, our two most basic exercises of ura form or omote form. Yeah, every time that our part or our teacher is demonstrating something, she or he is entering either behind the partner, to demonstrate a technique, or in front of the partner to demonstrate technique. Okay, so again, in solo practice, there's not really much we can do about that unless you have an object that clearly has a front or a back, or you assume a front or back. But really, when you see, your technique, even if it's a very familiar technique, okay, always confirm, is it the motion happening omote or is the motion happening ura, because it's very easy to bypass that. And the amount of times that we see people moving in ura when the demonstration was in omote, it's incredibly big. So that's number one. So just remember that there is basically two sides, and it's our obligation to see which side is the movement being performed. Second action is the action happening, okay, in the upper level, okay, of the movement, in the medium level of the movement, or on the lower level of the movement, right? So remember, there's going to be three levels, and different techniques and different teachers have different approaches to that. So let's say if we basic katate-dori, okay, hand underneath, moving everything up, upper level, katate-dori, palm down, and on top, grabbing something, medium level, katate-dori, and on top, but going downwards, lower level. Okay, so three levels, katate-dori, and under, going up, upper level, katate-dori, palm down, and on top, medium level, katate-dori, going down, and on top, lower level. Okay, so one more time, upper level, medium level, lower level. side, level, medium level, lower level. Possibly the most common mistake that we see around the world is with the most basic exercise that we do, which is Soto Tenkan. Why? Because the majority of the Soto Tenkans performed in the world are medium level. So it's such a common exercise that when the class starts and the warm-up finish and people goes and goes Soto Tenkan and they perform Soto Tenkan, we cannot see but not see. we went, oh yeah, he did the turning thing that we do always do. And then the amount of times that a teacher may do upper level, but then the practitioner just goes, oh yeah, it's a turn thing. And we just go medium level, it's too big. It's too many times that happens. So Soto Tenkan, upper level, same hand please. Soto Tenkan, medium level, same hand. Soto Tenkan, lower level. Okay? So Tenkan, upper level, hand, medium level, and hand, lower level. Okay, thank you. So practicing by ourselves. Soto Tenkan, upper levels. Soto Tenkan, medium level. Soto Tenkan, lower level. Change, upper level, medium level, lower level. Okay. Now, one thing is the level of the hands, and the other thing that sometimes changes in the different levels of Soto Tenkan is the use of the hands. Okay. Once again, because the most common form, which is medium level, has both hands perfectly square in front of you, nice and balanced, doesn't mean that upper level has it. Upper level sometimes it's only one hand, sometimes it's both hands. And lower level typically is both hands inside. So the position of the hands, okay, also we need to observe because we go, oh yeah, this person did upper level. And then we do both hands. Well, maybe the teacher just did upper level with one hand. So these are every opportunity of observation that we have during training, okay? So, one more time, upper level, one hand, medium level, two hands, lower level, one hand. Third side, upper level, one hand, medium level, two hands, lower level, one hand. Now, I did one hand, two hands, one hand, not because that's the way it's done, just because that's how I wanted to train this morning. And unfortunately for you, I'm personally leading the class. But it wouldn't be, if a person kind of is two hands, and then we just have to consistently pay attention to that. Okay. So now this time Morotedori. Imagine if you're entering one attack to Morotedori, Soto Tenkan, upper level. Morotedori, Soto Tenkan, open with your hips, upper level. Morotedori, Soto Tenkan, lower level. Okay, and remember to take that hand down. All right, Morotedori, Soto Tenkan, lower level. Morotedori, Soto Tenkan, upper level. Morotedori, Soto Tenkan, upper level. Morotedori, Soto Tenkan, lower level. Morotedori, Soto Tenkan, lower level. Okay. Again, very important to identify those two because this carries from basic Kihon to eventually something like Kaeshi Waza. When Irena is doing Iki on me, okay, Iki on me, okay, I can perform a Kaeshi Waza in my hand on upper level, or I could perform my Kaeshi Waza transferring to lower level. Okay, I could come and I can keep my hand to upper level, or I could transfer that to lower level. Very important that I am observant and familiar with the two levels, so I can choose the correct level for the practice. Okay, so once we're done, let's practice. Let's imagine Ikkyo in both levels. So here, Ikkyo, upper level. So Tenkan, Ikkyo, upper level. Soto Tenkan, Ikkyo, lower level. Tenkan, Ikkyo, lower level. Again, Tenkan, Ikkyo, upper level. Tenkan, upper level. Tenkan, Ikkyo, lower level. Tenkan, Ikkyo, lower level. Right. Another common place where we tend to miss the levels in which we are practicing very often sometimes is could be katate dori or yoko minuchi, which is kind of the same side. And when we practice medium level, as in grabbing the person's hand on top, and to do ikkyo, for example, or when we practice lower level, when I cut down and come down. So in one of them, okay, my hand is on top of my pana, my hand is on top of my pana, and from there I retract. And the second one, my hand is under, and then I move. Okay, so sometimes it comes yoko minuchi, and then I cut, grab from the top, and do my ikkyo. Sometimes comes yoko come down, and then ikkyo. Sometimes the hand stays fully up or upper level. Okay, so those are kind of the three levels for, let's say, ikkyo. That, but the two most commonly confused is the person grabbing from the top, or is the person grabbing all the way underneath, right? So those two levels of ikkyo are very easily kind of confused or misunderstood. So once again, your teacher is performing a technique at some level, upper level, medium level, or lower level of the body. So pay attention to the level, okay? If you are practicing the same level, so if you have chosen front or back, and you're practicing the correct level, that's getting in a good direction. It's good. Those are the two most common mistakes of observation of our class. The third most common mistake is confusing slides with steps and pivots with turns. Okay, so those two pairs which are very similar, and they somehow give you something more or less equivalent, are easy to understand. So just review. Slide, step. Okay, same thing backwards. Slide backwards, step backwards. Okay, so one more time. Slide forward, forward, slide backwards, step backwards. Okay, now next one is pivot, 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 and turn, 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 turn. Okay, we were doing kaishiwaza during the week, Shomenuchi Ikkyo kaishiwaza, and again, there was that element. But before the kaishiwaza, possibly the most common technique where this lack of observation or confusion arises is katate dori soto kaitanage or soto kokyunage. We know that we enter from the outside, that's fine. And then that's all we know. So from here, what's the correct movement? Turning or pivoting, right? So, katate dori, soto tenkan, I turn, and then I slide, or tenkan, I pivot, and then I step. Okay? So in order to kind of move on the outside of my pana, I may do both. So the tenkan, turn, slide, so the tenkan, pivot, step. Let's practice those two movements in their similarity and eventual difference. Okay? So enter, so the tenkan, and slide. The other side. Enter, so the tenkan turning, slide. The other side. Enter, pivoting, and step. Enter, pivot, and step. Enter, turn, slide, enter, turn, slide, enter, pivot, step, enter, pivot, step. Right? So in Kaeshiwasa, okay, and then Kaeshiwasa, my EQ, all right, EQ here, you know, I as the uke have a couple of options. So I turn, and then I continue with kokinage, part of Shinkamai Kaeshiwasa, or do I pivot, and then I step kokinage. Yeah. Am I turning and sliding, or am I pivoting and step? And again, it's not necessarily that one of them is really better than the other one. It's not like, oh, this is the right one, this is the wrong one. It's two important things. First of all, is the teacher demonstrating one movement in particular. Okay, so that's number one. But number two, sometimes you observe that. You observe the teacher and you go, oh gosh, on that one she slide, on that one she step, on that one she pivot, on that one she turns. So this doesn't seem to be a consistency of Tai Sabaki. So which means maybe that's not the important part of the exercise, like, which is perfectly fine. Okay, that's legit, no problem. But at least for us, as people doing this, are we capable to see the difference? Are we capable to understand and see the difference? Do we have enough physical literacy to see? Remember, when a person is unable to perform a movement, is mainly for one of three reasons, right? Physically, they are not capable. They just don't have the physical, literacy to be able to do that movement. Observationally, they cannot see it. They can physically do it, but observationally, they just can't see it. It just seems to, they could do a turn, it's just that they're just not noticing it. Or third, there's some wrong, something with their character. They can do it, they can see it, they just don't want to do it. Okay, so which category are we in that ladder, right? Can we and at least let's start fixing our physical literacy. Let's be familiar with the movements. Physically, can we do them? And then observationally, can we see them? And then hopefully, in humility, can we actually copy them? But in a way, funnily enough, if you can see the movement and if you can do the movement, well, you are at least 2/3 in. Sometimes we have to work with our character, but at least we can do it, we can see it. Okay, so the point is, are we willing to copy it? So let's just finish up with Koki Ho in two forms: slide, turn, slide, slide, turn, slide, slide, pivot, step. Slide, pivot, step. So Koki Ho on your own time with those two forms. Right? You go. 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 Right. All right. So this month, we're going to try to work mostly on the second category, not so much on the physical literacy part, that should be part of our training, not so much on the character part, as we have the humility to copy, but in the kind of the middle part, in the observational part. Can we actually see it? Can we actually notice, what the class is about and what the exercise is about and so on. So, once again, just a quick recap, the most basic way to kind of start doing that. just check, is it a motor ura? Check, is it upper, medium, or lower level? And check, are we stepping or sliding, pivoting, or turning? That's a very simple toolkit to say, okay, now I'm not saying that that's going to make your technique good. That's a completely different set of ideas. It's just at least we're being able to observe what the basic sketch of what the teacher is demonstrating is. Okay, so just start with those three as exercises of observation for your next training and see how we go. Okay. はい。はい。
どうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。Thank you very much.